All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the lightweight division talking about Gervonta Tank Davis calling out Devin Haney for a fight for all of the belts, and a very hilarious conversation going on between the top lightweights in that division. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, we're going to be in a 135-pound division. Gervonta Tank Davis, the WBA regular champion, calls out Devin Haney, the undisputed champion, at 135 pounds, and has some real funny things to say about why he can beat Devin Haney. And since Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis were talking about sparring, very, very, very interesting insight. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are a longtime subscriber or a recent subscriber to the channel, thank you so much for your support. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you for hitting that like button, sharing the videos, and special thank you to guys that support, guys and ladies that support through the super chat, the Cash App, and the super thanks that you can see below with on the lower right hand with the heart corner. That is how the channel continues to go. So thank you guys so much for your support. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. So let's get into this. Gervonta Davis said, I want to fight Devin Haney after I get done with these next two fights that I have. He has a fight with Hector Garcia, make sure I say his name right, Hector Garcia, who is the WBA super champion at 130 pounds, who will be moving up, I suppose will be moving up. Haven't gotten the details for sure of whether or not he's going to move up to fight for Gervonta's belt, regular belt at 135 pounds, or whether or not Gervonta is going to again move down to 130 to fight for his belt. But whatever the case, that fight is going to be taking place in January. So very, very good fight. And then I believe that the fight with Ryan Garcia, if he gets past Hector Garcia, would be set for in the April timeframe. I've heard the date, April 15th, and that is a big fight. As far as the attraction for boxing fans that it is, very big fight, because you have Gervonta Davis, who's probably the biggest draw of anybody in boxing below the 147 pound. Some people say that he's the biggest draw in boxing below 168 pounds. But definitely selling out stadiums, doing well on pay-per-view, all of that good stuff. And then you have Ryan Garcia, who has a distinct fan base from Gervonta Davis, a young Mexican fan base who also has, a lot of Twitter followers, a lot of Instagram followers, but not just that. He has a lot of people that buy tickets to his fight. Sold out stadium. I believe he sold out a stadium in San Antonio, Texas. Sold like 13,000 tickets there. Sold over 13,000 tickets, I believe, in LA the last time that he fought there, or wherever his last fight was. So definitely somebody that has a big name. And when you have two different fan bases, right, where you have Gervonta Davis, who has a big Black American fan base, and you have Ryan Garcia, who has a big Hispanic fan base, you bring them together. That is a recipe for a very, very big fight, as has been proven over and over again, right? Now, as far as the competition level of the fights, I think Hector Garcia is a good fight, really good test. Same thing for Ryan Garcia, but I got Gervonta winning those fights. Now, on the Rise podcast, shout out to my guys from the Rise podcast out of Upton Gym in Baltimore, Maryland, had Gervonta Davis, who is a gym member there and trained by one of the panelists, the regular panelists and contributor to the channel that goes by the name of Coach Calvin Ford. He said, look, man, when asked about Devin Haney, he said, look, Devin Haney keeps talking. Tell Devin Haney I want to make that fight with Devin Haney after I get done with Hector Garcia and I get done with Ryan Garcia. After that, I want Devin Haney. Now, here's where the thing got interesting, because there was a lot of back and forth going on about sparring, where in this particular interview, Gervonta was asked about the sparring that took place between he and Devin. And he said that Devin Haney did not get the best of me. In fact, I cracked both Devin Haney and I cracked Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson says that that's not true. And then Devin Haney said he beat the ish out of Gervonta and made Gervonta quit. So there was all of that stuff going around about that. But what I find interesting is Gervonta Davis said this: "What if you can't punch? How you gonna keep me off you?" He's like, remember I said that. If you cannot punch, how you plan on keeping me off of you in order to win that fight? And that is a very, very true statement, and a true statement regardless of what you think about what happened in sparring. Because as I talked about in my live streams and other people, I made sure concurred, you get other people to tell me if I'm telling the truth or not. But when you're sparring in 16-ounce gloves, usually 16-ounce gloves, and you're sparring with headgear. So if you say you're a fighter, a boxer, like Shakur Stevenson, and Shakur Stevenson is not somebody with a tremendous amount of power, right? And he's fighting somebody that has a tremendous amount of power. But you have that guy with tremendous power has 16-ounce gloves on and not 8-ounce gloves, and you get hit by 16-ounce gloves in the head when you have headgear versus 8-ounce gloves where you do not have it. That could explain why Gervonta Davis says, I cracked you, but Shakur Stevens could say, no, you didn't. Because in Gervonta's mind, and I'm not saying that this is the case, just speculating here, but I think it's a reasonable assumption that if somebody hits you when he's used to knocking people out and he has bona fide power. Now, in boxing, there are some people that have bona fide power. Bona fide power. Like as if you get hit by this guy, you can be in a lot of trouble. Those guys are like Monster Inoue, bona fide power. If he cracks you, you can get hurt. Gervonta Davis, if he cracks you, more than likely you're going to get knocked out. Deontay Wilder, if he cracks you, more than likely you're going to get knocked out. However, if you put Monster Inoue in 16-ounce gloves and put headgear on the other guy, you put Gervonta Davis in 16-ounce gloves, not 8, and put headgear on the other guy, and you put 16-ounce gloves, not 12, on Deontay, and you hit somebody with headgear with the same shot, that's a whole lot of muffling going on. So those guys may feel like, look, man, if I actually hit you with what I hit you with, we wouldn't be talking, you wouldn't be boxing anymore, right? So Gervonta Davis very well, if he say he had fought Leo Santa Cruz and Leo Santa Cruz is wearing headgear and Gervonta Davis was wearing 16-ounce gloves, he may have lost to Leo Santa Cruz, right? Because he wouldn't have been able to knock him out. So, but it's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens, because this particular call out is a realistic one, because Gervonta has 2 fights and so does Devin Haney. Devin Haney has a fight with Lomachenko next. And honestly, he should have a fight with Shakur Stevenson after that. But towards the end of the year, which is not more than 12 months from now, hopefully Devin can still make that weight and that fight could get made. Now, I'm never telling anybody who I think is going to win that fight for sure, but I will tell you that I don't think that sparring matches are really going to mean a lot when it's said and done, especially when you're talking about you being able to do something with a guy that is a big puncher in sparring that you might not be willing to do if you got hit, right? Or somebody that is a big puncher that may not be able to do what he usually does because he's got those things on his hands and you got that thing on your head. But anyway, it is what it is. That's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.